We bought a rig just last week down in Tulsa, the leather seats, but we forgot the map was old. And now we're lost, ain't that so bold? The toilet's blocked, don't you frown, spilling waste all over town. The engine sputters, ain't she sweet? This RV life's one big treat. Say hello to hidden trees, say goodbye to towing fees, knocking pipes, leaky roof, under stars, we're waterproof.
Welcome to our deep dive, all about making those state park adventures with kids truly epic. We're going to be looking at this article called Epic Kid-Friendly Adventures in State Parks. Make memories that last. And It's packed with really great ideas to take your park visit and turn it into something extraordinary.
Yeah, it really is.
But it's not just a list of activities.
Yeah, it's not. It's more about how to capture that spirit of adventure and how to encourage kids to connect with nature, which is, so valuable.
Definitely.
And it starts off with a really great idea, turning a park visit into a quest for hidden treasures.
Okay. A treasure hunt. I love it.
Yeah.
But I'm guessing it's not as simple as just burying a box of plastic jewels or something.
No. You can use a park map and create clues that lead to interesting natural features, maybe a giant oddly shaped tree or a rock formation that looks like an animal.
Oh, cool.
So it becomes a fun way to gamify learning about geography and map reading.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
So it's less about the treasure itself and more about getting kids to be more observant of their surroundings.
Exactly.
So do you think that sort of focused exploration can actually help them appreciate nature more?
Oh, absolutely. Instead of just running around, they're slowing down, looking for details and starting to notice the subtle beauty of the natural world. And who knows, maybe they'll even discover a love for geology or botany.
Oh, I love that.
Along the way.
Yeah, that's great. So speaking of sparking curiosity, the article also talks about turning a camping trip into a stargazing adventure.
Right.
Now, I've definitely had some magical nights under the stars, but how do we make it more than just looking up?
There's so much you can do. Imagine setting up your campsite and then using a stargazing app to identify constellations together. You could even try to spot satellites or learn about the stories behind different star patterns.
Oh, this really neat. So you're turning a simple camping trip into a mini astronomy lesson.
Exactly.
And just imagine that sense of awe and wonder that comes with realizing just how vast the universe is.
Oh, absolutely. And it's a great opportunity to talk about light pollution and how important it is to protect those dark sky areas where we can still experience the beauty of the night sky.
Yeah, that's a good point. Now, I know the Junior Ranger program is a classic. I have to admit, I never did it as a kid. Can you tell me more about it?
The Junior Ranger program is fantastic because it turns learning about nature into an interactive adventure.
Right.
Kids complete activities, go on guided walks, and ultimately earn their Junior Ranger badge.
Cool.
And some parks even have really unique badges that focus on specific aspects of the park's ecosystem or history.
Oh, wow.
For example, you might earn a badge for identifying different types of wildflowers or for learning about the park's role in a historical event.
So it's so much more engaging than just reading a pamphlet.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
It's you get a badge of honor for being a nature enthusiast. But does it actually make kids respect the environment more, or is it just about getting the badge?
Well, I think it can definitely have a lasting impact when kids are actively engaged in learning about nature. They're more likely to develop a sense of stewardship. Plus, it can be a great way to introduce them to the idea of citizen science and how they can contribute to real scientific research.
I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, now for an activity that combines technology and the great outdoors.
Yes.
Geocaching. To be honest, I know it involves GPS and finding hidden containers, but I'm a little fuzzy on the details.
Think of it like a high-tech treasure hunt.
Okay.
You use a GPS device or a smartphone app to locate these hidden containers called caches that are tucked away in various locations, often in state parks. But here's where it gets really interesting. Each cache usually contains a logbook where you can record your find, and sometimes they even have small trinkets that you can trade.
So there's a social element to it too. That's really cool. Do you think geocaching encourages kids to appreciate nature, or are they so focused on the technology that they kind of miss out on the bigger picture?
That's a great question. I think it can go either way. Some kids might be just focused on finding the cache, but others might use it as an opportunity to explore new trails, discover hidden parts of the park, and really connect with nature. It all depends on how you approach it as a family.
Yeah, that makes sense. And I love that it combines problem-solving navigation skills and a bit of friendly competition.
Right.
Now let's talk about embracing nature's playground. What does that even mean?
It's about ditching the traditional swing sets and just letting kids loose in the natural world. Think hopping across stones in a stream, building forts out of fallen branches, or balancing on logs. It's like a kind of unstructured play that we all enjoyed as kids.
I remember spending hours building forts in the woods pretending they were castles or pirate ships.
Yes.
Do you think kids today are missing out on that kind of play?
I think they are, to some extent. Structured playgrounds are great, but they don't offer the same level of freedom and creativity.
Right.
When kids are given the space to explore and experiment in nature, they develop problem-solving skills, resilience, and a sense of self-reliance that you just don't get from playing on a pre-designed structure.
And there's something so magical about watching a child's imagination come alive in nature. Like they can turn a fallen log into a balanced beam, a pile of leaves into a treasure trove, or a cluster of trees into a secret hideaway.
It's like nature provides an endless supply of prompts for their imaginations.
That's right.
And it's not just about the physical play being in nature, it also has a calming effect on kids. It can help reduce stress and anxiety, improve focus, and even boost creativity.
Yeah, you're right. I always feel more relaxed and centered after spending time outdoors.
Yeah.
It's like hitting the reset button on life.
Exactly.
Now, for all the budding wildlife enthusiasts out there, the article suggests turning a hike into a thrilling wildlife safari. I have to admit, even I get pretty excited about spotting wildlife, even if it's just a squirrel or a rabbit.
It's all about making those everyday encounters feel special.
Yeah.
And you can enhance that experience by equipping your little explorers with binoculars and a field guide.
Oh, good idea.
Encourage them to look for tracks, listen for bird calls, and pay attention to the subtle movements of animals in their natural habitat.
So you're turning a simple walk in the woods into a real-life nature documentary.
Yes.
But some kids might get discouraged if they don't see any, big game animals.
Yeah.
How can we help them appreciate all the diversity of life that exists, even in seemingly ordinary places?
It's about shifting their focus from the rare and spectacular to the everyday wonders that are often overlooked. Challenge them to find the smallest insect or the most unusual leaf. You can even turn it into a game by having them create a nature journal where they draw or describe their findings.
Oh, that's neat. You're turning observation into an art form.
Exactly.
And it helps them develop patience and appreciation for all the little details of nature, but we also need to talk about respecting wildlife and their habitats.
Right. Absolutely. The article really emphasizes the importance of observing animals from a safe distance and never approaching or feeding them. We need to teach kids that we are visitors in their home and we need to behave respectfully.
Yeah, those are important lessons for anyone who ventures out into nature.
Yeah.
Speaking of lessons, the article also highlights the educational value of state park adventures.
It's like a giant outdoor classroom just waiting to be explored.
Yeah.
And it's so much more engaging than just reading about these things in a textbook, right?
For sure.
When kids can see, touch, smell, and hear the things they're learning about, it just makes a much deeper impression.
When you put it that way, it makes me realize that we've only just scratched the surface of all the amazing things that state parks have to offer.
Oh, yeah.
We need to take a break, but when we come back, we'll dive into even more epic ideas to make your next state park adventure unforgettable. Welcome back to our deep dive into kid-friendly state park adventures. Before the break, we were talking about how state parks are like giant outdoor classrooms. But it's not just about structured learning, is it?
No, not at all.
Wow.
One of the things I love about exploring nature with kids is how it encourages them to use their imaginations.
Yeah.
Remember building forts out of branches or pretending that a fallen log was a pirate ship?
Oh, yeah, totally.
Those simple, unstructured play experiences are so valuable for their development.
I was just thinking about how different that is from what you see on a traditional playground.
Exactly. Structured playgrounds are great, but they don't offer the same level of freedom and creativity. When kids are given the space to explore and experiment in nature, they learn to problem solve. They get creative, and they use their imaginations in ways that traditional playgrounds often don't allow.
It's like nature provides that perfect backdrop for endless make-believe adventures.
It really does.
And it's not just about the physical play either, right? You mentioned earlier that being in nature has a calming effect on kids.
It absolutely does. Studies have shown that spending time in nature can reduce stress and anxiety, improve focus, and even boost creativity.
I can definitely relate to that. I always feel more relaxed and centered after spending time outdoors. It's like hitting the reset button on life.
I agree.
Now let's talk about wildlife. We touched on turning a hike into a wildlife safari before the break, but I'd love to explore that idea a little bit further.
Sure. It's such a fun way to engage kids with the natural world. And it doesn't require anything fancy. Just grab a pair of binoculars, a field guide, and head out on a trail with your little explorers.
You make it sound so easy.
Mm.
But some kids might get discouraged if they don't see any big game animals. How can we help them appreciate the diversity of life that exists even in those seemingly ordinary places?
I think it's about shifting their focus from the rare and spectacular to the everyday wonders that are often overlooked.
Mm.
Challenge them to find the smallest insect or the most unusual leaf.
Okay.
You can even turn it into a game by having them create a nature journal where they draw or describe their findings.
Oh, that's fun. That's turning observation into an art form. And it helps them develop patience and appreciation for those subtle details in nature. But we also need to talk about respecting wildlife and their habitats, right?
Absolutely. The article emphasizes the importance of observing animals from a safe distance and never approaching or feeding them. We need to teach kids that we are visitors in their home and that we need to behave respectfully.
It's so important for them to understand that we share this planet with other creatures and that we have a responsibility to protect them. Speaking of responsibility, this article doesn't really touch on the potential downsides of increased park visitation. Do you think there's a risk of, loving our parks to death?
That's a really important consideration. State parks are facing increasing pressure from overcrowding, especially as more and more people discover the benefits of spending time in nature. It's crucial for us to be mindful of our impact and to practice leave no trace principles when we're visiting these delicate ecosystems.
You're right. We need to find that balance between encouraging people to connect with nature and preserving those natural spaces for future generations. Yeah. Now, before we get too serious, let's lighten things up a bit. I have a confession to make. I'm not the most experienced camper. In fact, my first family camping trip was a bit of a disaster.
Oh no, what happened?
Well, we forgot the temp poles. The cooler leaked all over the food, and a raccoon stole our marshmallows. It was chaos.
Oh no.
But looking back, it's honestly one of my funniest family memories.
I love that. It's a reminder that sometimes the best memories are made when things don't go according to plan.
Exactly. And I think that's an important message for parents. Don't let the fear of things going wrong prevent you from embarking on these adventures. Embrace the spontaneity, the unexpected twists and turns, and most importantly, have fun.
Well said. And remember, state parks offer a wide range of accommodations from primitive campsites to fully equipped cabins.
Oh, that's good to know.
So you can choose the level of roughing it that's right for your family.
Speaking of choices, let's talk about the DIY memory book idea from the article. What are some creative ways to make those memories last?
It's all about going beyond just photos and souvenirs. Encourage kids to collect natural treasures like leaves, stones, or feathers to include in their memory books. They can also write about their experiences, draw pictures, or even create little poems inspired by their time in nature.
I love that. It's like creating a tangible representation of their journey. Do you think this kind of reflective activity helps kids process their experiences on a deeper level?
I absolutely do. When kids take the time to reflect on their experiences, they're more likely to internalize those lessons and carry them forward into their lives. It's also a great way for families to connect and share their favorite memories.
You know, as we're talking about all these ideas, it strikes me that state parks offer so much more than just scenery and recreation. They're places where we can learn, grow, connect with nature, and create lasting memories.
They truly are. And they're accessible to people of all ages and abilities, whether you're an experienced hiker or just looking for a place to have a picnic and enjoy the fresh air. There's a state park out there for you.
You've inspired me to plan a state park adventure with my family soon. We've covered so much ground in this deep dive, but I know there are still more epic ideas waiting to be discovered. We'll be back after a quick break to explore even more ways to turn your next state park visit into an unforgettable experience. We're back for the final part of our deep dive, all about epic, kid-friendly state park adventures. You know, as we've been talking about all these great ideas, I've realized there are just so many different ways to experience a state park.
There are. That's what makes them so special. There's something for everyone, whether you're looking for high-energy adventure or, just quiet contemplation. And the best part is you can tailor the experience to your family's interests and abilities.
Exactly. Like if your kids are little artists, you can encourage them to sketch the landscape or create nature mandalas or even try photography. Or if they're more into history, you can visit parks that have some historical significance and imagine what life was like back then,
Yeah, that's a great idea.
for the people who lived there centuries ago.
And let's not forget about accessibility. Too many state parks have trails and facilities that are designed for people with disabilities, so everyone can experience the joy of being in nature.
I'm so glad you brought that up. It's really important to remember that state parks are for everyone, no matter their physical abilities. This whole deep dive has really got me thinking about how important it is to help kids develop a sense of wonder and appreciation for nature. Do you think these types of experiences can have a lasting impact on their lives?
I think they absolutely can. When kids develop a love for nature, they're more likely to become stewards of the environment and advocates for conservation, and that's something that will benefit them and our planet for, their whole lifetime.
That's a great point. It's all about instilling that sense of responsibility for the natural world, and not just the big picture stuff like climate change or pollution. It's also teaching them to appreciate the small things, like the patterns on a butterfly's wing or the balance of a forest ecosystem.
Yeah, those small things can spark a huge sense of wonder. And it's that sense of wonder that fuels our curiosity and drives us to learn more about the world around us.
So true. Speaking of learning, I think it's worth mentioning that we adults can benefit from state park adventures just as much as kids can.
Oh, for sure. Spending time in nature is good for us in so many ways. It reduces stress, improves our mood, boosts our creativity, and helps us reconnect with ourselves and our loved ones.
Sometimes I think we get so caught up in our busy lives that we forget how good it is to just be in nature.
Right.
It's like hitting pause on everything and just being present in the moment.
It really is a chance to unplug from technology, breathe in the fresh air, and just listen to the sounds of nature and remember that we're part of something so much bigger than ourselves.
That's a really powerful feeling. So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave our listeners with a challenge. What's one unexpected skill you think kids could learn from a state park adventure?
That's a good one. It could be anything from learning to identify edible plants to building a fire to navigating with a compass. The possibilities are kind of endless.
They really are. And who knows, maybe you'll even learn something new yourself. So get out there, explore your local state parks, and create your own epic adventures. We can't wait to hear all about them.